Good evening, I'm Riggs Johnson, and tonight we bring you a comprehensive report on the ongoing Adani Airport saga, now expanding its reach to include a controversial deal in Kenya. The Adani Group's rapid expansion into the aviation sector has been marked by both opportunity and controversy. Known for its dominance in energy, logistics, and infrastructure, the Adani Group's 2019 entry into airport management in India raised eyebrows due to concerns over monopolization, favoritism, and transparency. As India's largest private airport operator, Adani now controls key airports, including Mumbai's Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport and the under-construction Navi Mumbai Airport. But Adani's ambitions do not stop within India. The group is rumored to be eyeing expansion across global markets, with Africa emerging as a potential next frontier. However, a new controversy surrounding a deal in Kenya has thrown Adani's global aspirations into sharp focus. The Adani Group's involvement in a proposed deal for Kenya's Jomo Kenyatta International Airport (JKIA), Nairobi's largest and busiest airport, has drawn widespread criticism and sparked political uproar. The deal, which has not yet been officially confirmed, has raised concerns about transparency, national sovereignty, and corporate overreach in Kenya. Reports suggest that the Kenyan government is in talks with the Adani Group to manage and operate JKIA under a long-term public-private partnership. The arrangement is said to mirror the same model used in India, where the government hands over operational control to private players in exchange for investments aimed at modernizing the infrastructure. However, several aspects of this potential deal have triggered controversy. Critics argue that JKIA, being Kenya's largest airport and a major hub for both international and regional air traffic, is too important to be controlled by a foreign corporation. Opponents of the deal are concerned that placing such critical infrastructure in the hands of a private entity, especially a foreign one, could undermine Kenya's sovereignty and leave the country vulnerable to corporate interests that may not align with national priorities. Much like the controversies in India, the Kenyan airport deal has raised questions about transparency in the bidding process. Critics allege that the negotiations have been conducted behind closed doors, without public consultations or input from stakeholders in Kenya's aviation industry. Opposition leaders and civil society groups have voiced concerns that the deal might favor Adani at the expense of Kenyan interests, especially given the group's ties to influential political figures in other regions. The potential deal comes at a time when Kenya's economy is facing challenges, including a growing debt burden. Opponents argue that privatizing a national asset like JKIA may result in increased fees for passengers and airlines, potentially impacting tourism and the cost of doing business in Kenya. They fear that Adani's control over such a vital part of Kenya's infrastructure could lead to monopolistic practices similar to those seen in other regions where the group operates, raising costs for consumers while limiting competition. Another point of contention revolves around the potential impact on jobs at JKIA. Kenya's aviation industry is a key employer, and there are fears that a privatized management structure could lead to job losses or lower wages for local workers. The Adani Group, known for streamlining operations to maximize profitability, may implement changes that could adversely affect the airport's workforce. The deal has ignited political opposition, with several Kenyan leaders calling for a full investigation into the proposed agreement. Some have accused the government of acting in secrecy and warned against the dangers of selling off critical national infrastructure. In response, the government has defended the deal, arguing that privatization could attract much-needed investment, modernize the airport, and enhance Kenya's position as a regional transport hub. The concerns raised in Kenya echo many of the same issues that plagued Adani's airport deals in India. In 2019, when the group secured contracts to manage 6 major airports, critics accused the Indian government of favoritism, lack of transparency, and the risk of monopolistic control over vital public assets. Despite these criticisms, Adani has pressed ahead, expanding its airport business and positioning itself as a key player in India's aviation sector. The parallels between the Indian and Kenyan deals are clear. They both involve the privatization of crucial infrastructure through long-term public-private partnerships, raising questions about the concentration of corporate power, transparency, and the long-term impact on consumers. As Adani's global expansion, The controversy in Kenya could serve as a litmus test for its future international ventures. If the deal goes through, it would mark a significant step in Adani's quest to become a global player in airport management, potentially opening the door to further deals across Africa, Asia, and beyond. However, the group's reputation may also face heightened scrutiny on the global stage, especially if allegations of monopolization and political favoritism continue to follow its ventures. For Adani, managing the controversy in Kenya could be critical in shaping the company's international image as it expands beyond India's borders. The Adani Group's potential involvement in the management of Jomo Kenyatta International Airport has stirred a significant amount of debate in Kenya, much as its airport deals have in India. While the privatization model may bring investment and modernization, it also raises legitimate concerns about transparency, national sovereignty, and the broader economic impact on Kenya's aviation industry. As Adani's global ambitions grow, the world will be watching closely to see how the group navigates these controversies, both at home and abroad. The future of Kenya's largest airport and perhaps the future of Adani's global expansion hangs in the balance. Stay tuned to Mock Global News for further updates as this story develops. Good night.